Hi, my name is Lynzi Poindexter, and I will be hosting this week's video announcements. Currently, we do not have anything on the calendar for May 2nd, but make sure to check for updates and changes. This day in history, in 1978, the Bee Gees were awarded their second platinum single in less than 2 months for Night Fever. It was preceded by Staying Alive, both from the soundtrack of Saturday Night Fever. Weren't you alive back then, Mr. Best?
Yes, I think I was 17. Indeed, that was a huge deal. Disco, was all the rage back then, and the Bee Gees already were pretty well known, but they became like Beatles or Harry Potter famous there for a while. And many people still like them today. I know I do. But yeah, it was lots of fun, and it was a big deal back then.
That's great. Living history right here.
Indeed. Thank you, ma'am.
Tuesday, May 3rd, the high school will be having the Algebra 1 EOC test, which will start around 8 a.m. Later that day, there will be a 4-H meeting at South Elementary at about 3:45 p.m. There will also be a band booster meeting at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the band hall. On this day in history, in 1960, Elvis Presley started a 4-week run at #1 on his U.S. singles chart with Stuck on You, his first hit single after his 2-year stint in the U.S. Army. It became his first #1 single of the 1960s and 13th overall.
Very cool.
On Wednesday, May 4th, the juniors will be taking their U.S. History EOC, beginning at about 8 a.m. Also, there will be a 4-H robotics class starting at 3:45 p.m. at South Elementary. Also, the 5th graders will be touring the junior high at 1:15 p.m. I almost forgot, there will be a faculty meeting at 7:45 a.m. in the junior high science lab. Mr. Best, would you like to know a fun fact?
I would, please.
Measuring almost 5 feet tall, the pyramid-shaped tower, made up of 3,000 donuts, according to Guinness World Records, the structure was designed on a number of different software products to ensure its structural integrity. The organizers behind the project enlisted the help of a structural engineer and an architect, who would eventually conclude a pyramid shape would give them the best combination of stability and height. What do you think about that, Mr. Best?
I think they might have too much free time on their hands. What do you think?
I think so too. On Thursday, May 5th, the freshmen will be taking their biology EOC at about 8 a.m. The 8th grade students will be taking their science star, and there will also be a U.S. history review in the Bailey Auditorium. There will also be another 4-H robotics class starting at 3:45 at South Elementary. Here's an interesting fact from music history that also shows the power of inflation. On this day in history, in 1973, at Tampa Stadium in Florida, 56,000 fans went to see Led Zeppelin. The band grossed $309,000. At the time, the show set a record for the largest paying crowd at an American rock concert. The band played for 2.5 hours without an intermission. Tickets were only $5. How much do you think that would cost right now, Mr. Best?
Wow, that is a good example. I would think if Led Zeppelin were still together like some legacy bands are, and playing a concert, they would be anywhere from $200 to probably $1,000.
I would expect so.
Yeah, that's a good example. Good job.
On Friday, May 6th, the 8th graders will be taking their social studies STAR exam. Later that day, the 2nd graders will be touring South Elementary. As always, make sure to check the web calendar for updates or changes. Everyone have a great week, and go Bucks!